How to quarantine freshwater fish. You may need to quarantine freshwater fish before introducing new tank mates, when getting fish ready to breed, or to isolate sick fish. Quarantine tanks are smaller aquariums that separate some fish from your general fish population. You can quarantine freshwater fish by setting up their separate tank, transporting your fish to their new tank, and recognizing when to separate freshwater fish into different tanks. Part 1. Setting up the quarantine tank. Equip your tank. Purchase a quarantine tank that is at least 10 to 20 gallons. Buy additional supplies including a filter to keep the water clean, a heater, a power head for surface agitation, and a fish net so you don't infect fish in your main aquarium. These supplies can ensure the health and vitality of your quarantined fish until you reintroduce them to their primary tank. Get an aquarium test kit for pH, ammonia, nitrate and nitrate if you don't already have one to ensure that the tank water quality is high. The larger the fish, the more space you'll need to house the quarantined fish. Fill the tank with water. Clean the quarantine tank thoroughly with hot water before adding water. Place it in a spot that is dark to keep your fish calmer. Then use water from your main tank to fill the quarantine tank. This can ensure that your fish quickly acclimate to their new aquarium. Avoid using soap when cleaning the tank because the chemicals can be toxic to fish. Add new water to the main tank by adding distilled water that you've treated so that it has similar properties. Add the extras to the tank. Consider your quarantine tank to be an extension of your main tank. Place the filter, heater, and power head into the tank. Placing a few decorations and hiding spots can also help your fish feel more comfortable in their new surroundings. Check the quarantine tank environment. Allow the filter to cycle a few times and start the power head to clean and aerate the quarantine tank water. Take the temperature of the water to ensure it's the same as the main tank. Use your testing kit to ensure the pH is also similar or the same as the main tank. Making sure that the quarantine tank environment is the same or close to your main tank can maintain the vitality and health of your fish and their offspring. Remove the fish from the main tank. Fill a plastic bag with tank water so you can place the fish you want to transfer into it. Using your new tank net, scoop up the animal you want to quarantine. Then place the fish in the plastic bag and move it to the new tank. Removing your fish this way can minimize its stress and help maintain its vitality. If you have new fish, keep them in their plastic bag to prevent shock. Acclimate your fish to the quarantine tank. Float the sealed plastic bag with your fish in the quarantine tank. Leave the bag in the water for 15 minutes so that the fish can gradually adjust to the water temperature. Cut the bag, open the bag and allow the fish to swim free in the quarantine tank. Taking the time to acclimate your fish to the quarantine tank can minimize the risk of shocking the fish, which can harm its health. Part 2. Treating and returning quarantined fish. Observe the fish. For 3 to 4 weeks, closely watch the health and vitality of your quarantined fish. Look for the symptoms of potential problems to ensure prompt tank removal and treatment or when to remove male fish from the quarantine breeding tank. White spots or velvety patches on the body, missing scales or incomplete fins, cloudy or bulging eyes, ulcers or other lesions, rapid breathing, gasping at the surface and shaking, erratic swimming, listlessness or sulking in a corner, a bubble nest from male fish. Treat any illness. If any of your quarantined fish are ill or get sick, decide on the best course of treatment for it. This may include things such as improving water quality through cleaning or giving the fish medication. Extend the quarantine at least 2 weeks from the time you start treatment to ensure that the fish can heal without additional problems arising. Once the fish appears healthy, leave it in the quarantine for an additional week. Move fish back to the main tank. Once your fish is healthy, remove it from the quarantine tank with the new net. Place the fish in a plastic bag with water from the main tank. Then put the sealed plastic bag in the main tank for 10 to 15 minutes before letting your fish swim free. Avoid mixing quarantine water into your main tank, as it could still contain medications harmful to your other fish. Clean and store the quarantine tank. Disinfect your tank and equipment once the quarantine is over. Mix 200 mg bleach with 1 liter of water in the tank. Use more for larger tanks. Scrub down the tank surfaces and equipment with the bleach mixture and rinse thoroughly with clean water when you're done. Allow the tank and equipment to air dry, which can kill any lingering pathogens. Then store the tank in a clean, dry spot in your home. Don't forget like and subscribe my channel and click on bell button for more videos.